I'm gonna show you how to go from this to that using the Amaran and Aputure lights that I'm gonna show you today. How's it going, everyone? This is Kevin. Today I wanna bring along with me to show you how I use my studio lights to light up my office using the Amaran 100x and 200x. So let's jump right into it. So I recently picked up the Amaran 100x because I already had the 200x and I really loved it. And it was on sale on B&H for, I guess, like kind of like the Black Friday and all that stuff. So I wanted to kind of show you the way that I'm gonna be using it to light up my studio and my office basically. So whenever I'm doing my videos in my office and I wanna have the talking headshots and everything like that, and see how we can make our office setup look a lot nicer when it comes down to filming in there, so that we can have some nice crisp lighting with this setup. And maybe you'll see if these lights are right for you. So we're gonna go ahead and just try to look into seeing how we're gonna set it up and go from there. Alright, so this is what the lighting looks like in my office currently if I'm just using the overhead light when it comes down to basically the setup of my office if I were to use the light in here. Now I have both of these set up. Over here I have the 200x, and then over here as a filler light I have the 100x, which is a little bit of an overkill because technically I've been using only the 200x for my setup, but that's basically the only thing I've really been using it for, like, as my main light. So now I'm gonna see if I can use both of them to kind of set up a light where it kind of makes it fuller in here a little bit of the side to not have too much of a harsher light. So we're gonna start turning on this one first and then go from there. So now we have this one turned on. What I'm gonna do is turn off basically the light above me that is basically the room light, so that way we can see what the actual effect of this is, and so you can get an idea. All right, so now we're getting somewhere. This is basically, I don't even remember what percent. I think it's at 60%. Let me double check. Never mind, just 40%. But so now we're gonna go ahead and turn on the other light over here to kind of get a little bit more full over here so it doesn't just kind of magically get all dark. And then I'm gonna use my little Aputure kind of, I think it's the MC something light, just to kind of get a little bit of a filler light over there. So let's start turning on some lights and see how it starts looking. So that's with the other light. I set it only at 10% right now because I don't want it to be too harsh where it's just like bouncing everywhere. But as you see, I'm gonna show you real quick. It's just kind of pointed just towards the wall a little bit, kind of to bounce it off behind me. That's about it when it comes down to that light. And then we're gonna turn on the little light over here. I usually set it for red, so we're just gonna leave it at that. And there we go. So we have a little bit kind of just like a filler light. This is how I usually set it all up, and basically just keeps it just not as dark around me, but just enough where it's like moody enough. Sometimes I even feel like moving just a little bit this. I can, depending how much of the contrast I want to do for like this side, so that whenever I'm talking it looks a little bit more dramatic, I guess. But this is kind of the simple setup that I have with these lights. Nothing too crazy, just wanted to show you a little bit of what you can do, taking basically from this to that, and then that's what you get with the final result using these setup of lights. I'm going to show you a little bit more in depth what the lights look like now, just so you get an idea of what they have and include. I know these are a little bit more inexpensive than the typical lights that Aputure kind of provides. So it's something kind of cool, and I'll show you the stands that I have as well, so in case that's an interest of you to know, that's what my setup is. So let me show you a little bit more of what it comes out with, kind of the soft boxes and like what it has and everything. So we're back with the little poopy light of that. So if I zoom in, this is the Amaran 200x right there. So this is basically, if you can see, it's just set up at 40% at 4300 Kelvin. That's the cable itself that comes with the camera, and then just goes all the way over there. Don't mind the mess, but you know. So this setup right here, this stand, I got it off of B&H. Got it for like I think 120, 140 bucks, and I got 2 of them. So this is the other one, the Amaran 100x, the stand, and this one is a 36-inch. Oh, I guess both of them are. I thought I got 2 different sizes, but I guess that works. So this is a softbox. It'll probably be a little bit bright, but that's the setup right there. So if you want to see it from a different angle, that's how it works. So basically, having this setup with a little bit of these is to make it softer, apparently. It kind of came with them whenever I got like the softbox itself, so I just wanted to use it because, well, it can't hurt. But that's basically how it is set up right here with that one and then the other one. So those are the 2 setup. Obviously, if I want to, with the Amaran 100, so this is only at 10%. It has the same thing as the other one, basically the setup right there. One of them is just like, I guess the wattage is just going to be 100 versus 200. But if I keep kind of going with intensity, that's 20. I'm going to lower this real quick so you guys can see. So that's a 20%, 40, 60, 100. So I mean, it's a pretty drastic change. Oh, actually it's just 80, and then that's 100. So it's actually not a bad of a change. I mean, if you see my hand, it's at 100% right there. So not too shabby. And now I just wanted to show you obviously just how this light looks right there. That's what I usually use for when it comes down to my main videos, when I used to do them only here. I just recently obviously added the other one, and I use that little MC light over there just for like a little filler light, just to add a little bit more than just a really dark area because of the lighting situation, since we have the window back there, but we try to close it out to control the light as much as possible, so we're not having to basically, you know, just add too much different lighting and everything like that. Because when it comes down to lighting, I wanted to try to stay as consistent as possible. Sometimes there's a little bit more light coming through depending on the time of the day, because the sun rises on that side and it sets over here where the window is. So if I'm doing it later in the evening, well, I get more light to come through, but I try not to. I try to kind of obviously put it as controlled as I can, and that's why using these 2 lights has helped me out now to kind of bring a little bit more professionalism to this videos, I hope, and that way it'll be a good setup going forward. Now, basically between these 2 lights, it's nothing of a crazy review just yet. I do plan to do more an in-depth review between these 2 lights eventually, to compare to see if you really need to go with a 200 or if you're fine with a 100. Is there intensity too much of a difference that it would be better to go with one or the other, and see how well they would be for just using it as a studio, basically for photos, like taking portraits and everything like that, to do a comparison between them, and that way to see if there's something that could make sense to have one over the other, and it'll help you out as well. But for now, I mean, this is something that I just wanted to do really quick and show you guys a little bit of basically my setup now coming into with this new lights. And you know, since there are different pricing and everything like that, I started with the 200 first, and it was like sold out for the longest of time, which kind of sucked because it was like, I think I ordered it like in either May or something like that, and I didn't get into like September. And then this one was in stock pretty fast, actually, luckily, but I didn't order it until like Black Friday kind of deal anyway, so it is what it is. Finally got both of them, and I like the stands that I got with them. They're really sturdy, and it has like nice little locks if I want to, and they have like rollerblades wheels, so they can go on carpet pretty easily. But that's pretty much it for the setup. Just want to do a little quick little rundown with the Amaran lights that I have, and then the MC light over there, and then obviously use my monitor screen just to kind of add a little bit more. But that's just all that I do for when it comes down to my office setup using these lights, and hopefully it'll help you out to see my little setup, to see what you want to do for when it comes down to an office setup with lighting. Eventually I'll do it more in depth, so be on the lookout for that. Make sure to, you know, get notifications on and all that stuff, and leave me your comments down below of what you think of these 2 lights for the lighting setup of my office. If there's something that I should try out or see about changing, I would love to know more input. I'm always learning, so I appreciate you stopping by to check it out and giving me your input. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.